project, we're going to be working on building a rabbit hutch for our rabbits. As you can see, winter is here. There is snow on the ground, and so we need to get them out of the kind of makeshift hutches that they're in right now. That's basically outside in the backyard there, and so they're kind of exposed to the weather a little bit, to the elements. So what we're going to do is right there, that's where we have the brooder set up right now. It's kind of a little storage area, but it's covered. And so we're going to build a rabbit hutch, put it over there for the 2 rabbits so that they can be undercover, out of the weather. It'll at least give them some protection for during the winter months here. And if we want to, we'll be able to move it out of there and, you know, move it outside where maybe they can, you know, if they need some fresh air or they need to just get out and get some sunshine. But for the meantime, what we're trying to do is basically make it so that these rabbits aren't under the threat of snow coming off the roof and landing on top of their roof, the roof of their hutch right now. And the hutches that we do have, let's just say, not in the greatest of shape. So they're kind of at the end of their life cycle, so to speak. They're kind of coming apart. The rabbits have chewed through some of the, you know, some pieces of the hutch, so it's just they need a new home. So we're going to go ahead and build that today. Right now I'm just going to start cutting the pieces for the frame. Kind of making this like a 51 by 30 and splitting it in half there. So, and then hopefully I'd like to make a little tray, a little piece underneath, so we can slide a tray in there underneath it, where the rabbits are, so that when they poop, it goes into a collection tray. We can pull that out and we can use it for fertilizing our garden area. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, well, that takes care of our legs. We have 6 legs. We're gonna have the 4 corners, 1 in the middle to also support the middle of the cage, and to also provide a avenue for which we can build a wall in the middle to keep them separated. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, with those pieces that I just cut off the end there for the legs here, I'm actually gonna cut those now. I said it was going to be 30 inches, basically 30 inches deep, I would say. So we have to account for the fact that there's going to be legs here. And so front and back, that's going to be 3.5 inches. So for these pieces here, I'm going to take 30, subtract the 3.5 for the 2 legs there, and it gets me 26.5. So I've got to cut 4 pieces at 26.5. Actually, I'll cut 6 because there's going to be 6 legs. So top and bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, we can do some math. All right. Well, we have our 6 legs, our 6 kind of front to back support pieces. This will get us everything we need to build almost build the entire frame, the basic box. I know I can eventually get it out, but the basic box. We'll have our 6 legs, we'll have our pieces going front to back on all pieces there. The only thing that we won't have is our pieces that go along the front and back to form kind of the box of the cage there. So I'll have to do a little bit more math, because we're dealing with larger now. Instead, we're doing 3.5, 3.5, and 3.5, which that makes 10.5. So 10.5 off of 51 would be 40.5. So 240.5, that's like 20 and a quarter. So I think these are going to be just about 2 inches too short. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm back at the rabbit building. Boy, what a difference a day makes. As you can see, yesterday when we were talking and chatting, the ground was covered with snow, the driveway was all snowy, and now, after a big rainstorm, you can kind of see all of that is gone. So it is a beautiful day back here on the homestead. And then I'll measure and cut all these sides, the front kind of, I guess the lengthwise of the rabbit hutch there. I'll make all those and attach all that and get all 3 leg sections connected that way, so they have their support this way and this way. And then that way, that is going to allow me to put the wire mesh down that's going to form basically the floor of the rabbit hutch that the rabbits will actually be walking on. Once I get that floor in, then I'll go ahead and finish putting the top support pieces in, both this way and going this way, and that way it'll make it easier. Then I can actually wrap the front and around the side, because we're going to go probably about halfway, maybe a little over halfway, as far as the wire mesh goes. I might decide to put some wood on this section here, kind of towards the back of it, so that they have a little area where they can get to, where there's not, they can kind of be out of the wind, even though they're going to be under cover. The back will be actually solid wood, and then the top, we're actually going to do half solid wood on the top, and then the front half will actually be a door on a little half door that will flip up, that gives us access in there so we can give them food, grab the rabbits if we need to pull them out, give us access. And it'll make it so that it won't require any doors on the front of the cage in order to get in. So it might make it a little troublesome, I think, getting the rabbits out from the back, but I don't suspect that we're going to really need to take the rabbits out very much. So I think we're going to go with that design there, because I think it's going to make it the least complicated, the easiest and quickest kind of to build for this purposes, and it'll get the rabbits in their new home much faster. So we're going to go ahead and get going on that. Okay, so, well, one thing about kind of winging a project where you're just kind of building it from, you know, basic knowledge of how to build a cage and building stuff, sometimes you go with your plan, and sometimes you make changes after you kind of put it together and you go, that doesn't quite look right. So in this instance, I originally had marked it at 18. I went all the way down to 24 because I thought this was a little bit too short. 24 looked way too big. So I split the difference, put it at 20. I think I like that height. 20 is still, you're still able to get in and reach the bottom of the cage. I think 24 would have been too deep. And it actually will put the trays that we're going to put on here kind of right at a more convenient height there. So sometimes you make changes on the fly, and this is one of those times. So I'm going to go ahead and remark everything at 20 inches and put it together, and then we'll be ready for the next part, which is putting on or cutting the front and back support pieces. I think what I'll do, cut pieces here, 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 and here. And then I'm going to put a support in the middle as well. And I think that will keep the wire from kind of sagging down in the middle from the rabbits hopping on it. So I think for some stability purposes, I'll probably end up adding a brace down here. Just so the legs have some stability back and forth, because without that you can kind of see it's pretty wobbly. Okay guys, as you can see, I've gotten the side supports there. I've got this last section to attach here, and if you look, pan the camera down here. Okay, I went ahead and pre-started my screws so that I don't have to try and hold the screws and get this all level. This is just gonna go like so. Kind of our basic platform. I'll be able to put the wire mesh down here and just cut out notches around each of the things here. I'm going to put the leg braces down there as well, so I've got those already cut, and so I'll just kind of measure where I'd like those. Probably somewhere in the middle, probably maybe a little bit more towards the bottoms to make a little bit more room for a tray to go in there. But either way, we'll get the braces on and then we'll be ready for wire mesh. That is definitely much better, much more stable. I'm very happy with it. Get the rest on and go from there.